Good morning, student. Welcome to the Bread and Pastry Production in situ. Prepare and display Petit pours. House rules. Wash your hands always and wear your personal protective equipment. Okay, so does anybody have an idea what is Petit pours is? Okay, so this is an hour overview. So the term Petit pours refers to the confections such as miniature cookies, tartlets, and cakes that may accompany an afternoon coffee or tea, or that are served after a meal. Petit pours are light, delicate, crisp, and refreshing. The common defining characteristics of petit pours is that they can be eaten in one or two bites. Petit pours, which means small oven in French, refers to the tradition of baking small pastries in a slow oven after large pastries have been removed and oven temperature is reduced. Okay, so petit pour dough is a confections or example of cakes na may design and shapes. And example of this is the uh, cookies and tartlets. Okay. So, petit pour daw is a small oven in French. So, ibig sabihin, small pieces of pastries. Kaya nga natawag siyang petit pour kasi uh, small bite or sabihin nating two or one bite lang. Okay, so this is a type of petit pours. We have three varieties. First, the glaze, or iced or decorated tiny cakes covered in fondant or icing. Second, sail or salted, a savory bite-sized appetizers usually served at cocktail parties or buffet. Third, sec or dry, dainty biscuits, baked meringues, macarons, and puff pastries. So that yung nasa taas is yung example of three varieties of pastries or petit pours. Next, yan. Yan yung example ng petit pour na different designs and toppings. Okay, so bago tayo magpatuloy sa our discussion, I will have a video
Hello crafty
presentation
fans!
na
Welcome back to my
mapupulutan nyo
channel.
ng
Today
aral
I'm going to
kung
show you
paano
how
gumawa
to
ng petit
make a
pours.
Petit-4. So basically it is just mini cakes and I'm going to be giving this to a cookie exchange. You can make these cakes for tea parties or any occasion really because they are just so cute and adorable and very easy to make. So first thing you want to do is you want to put like a parchment paper or anything under the baking rack because it's going to be messy. Now I'm going to slice the pound cake and I am doing about 1 inch thick. And I'm also going to trim off the crust, sides, bottom, and the top. And then I will cut it in half. I managed to get 12 pieces. And here I'm just making sure that it will fit in the cupcake liner. And now it's time to frost it. I microwave the frosting for 30 seconds first and now I'm just mixing it really well and I will pour it in a bowl, just half of it because I don't want the rest of the frosting to get crumbs all over it. I'm going to dip the cake in the frosting, making sure I cover the whole sides and I will shake off any excess frosting and you will do the same process to the rest of the cakes. I added some sprinkle on top and let it dry for about 30 minutes and they are ready. How cute are these? If you want to, you can also drizzle some chocolate syrup on top I think it will look really nice as well. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it if you could. See you in my next video. Bye!
Wow, it's a very beautiful pretty purse. So, yan yung sample ng pretty purse na ginawa niya. Okay? So, nakita nyo dyan, yung ginamit niyang design is yung whipped cream. And, ah, tapos linagay niya lang sa cupcake holder. Yun. Yan yung pretty purse na 1 by 1 inch. Okay? Okay. So, in lesson 4, so ito yung expected outcomes or magiging outcomes natin sa lesson 4 na PT, prepare and display PT purse. So, LO1, prepared iced PT purse. So, yung bakit natawag siyang ice? So, dahil yung iced is yung magiging design or uh, design niya sa PT4. Example that one, yung nasa picture. Okay? LO2, prepare fresh PT4 or fresh or yung mga design niya is more on fruits. Prepare marzipan PT4s. Prepare caramelized PT4s. P, display PT4s and last is kung paano tayo mag-store ng PT4s. Okay, so our discussion is more on iced PT purse. So LO1 prepare iced PT purse. So first we have prepare, cut and assemble sponge and bases according to standard recipe and enterprises requirements and practices. So ano ba yung prepare? So, syempre, ah preparing in paggawa ng PT purse, syempre kailangan natin ng mga ingredients, ano pa ba, yung mga cakes and mga design na paggawa ng PT purse. Prepare, filling, and required flavors and consistency. Yun nga. So, syempre, hindi kompleto yung PT purse kung walang fillings. Syempre, marami tayong fillings na napag-aralan sa ating modules na na-submit. Okay, so the third is prepare fondant icing following required flavors and consistency. So, maraming fondant icing yung malalaman natin kung sa paggawa ng petipers. And last, design and use decoration in accordance with establishment standard procedure. So, bakit mayroon tayong establishment standard procedure? Siyempre, example kung gagawa tayo ng isang business or bake shop, syempre meron tayong standard na sinusunod sa paggawa o sa paggawa ng mga cakes or mga breads. So, syempre, para maging stable yung ating store, so syempre meron tayong standard na sinusunod. Okay? So, yan yung ating objectives for today's discussion. Okay. So, bago tayo mag-start, we have the pre-test. We have 5 items in pre-test. So, please answer in your notebook. Okay. First, it refers to miniature bite-sized confections coated with icing. Letter A, fresh petit pours. Letter B, iced petit pours. Letter C, marzipan. Letter D, petit pours. I will repeat. It refers to miniature bite-sized confections coated with icing. Letter A, fresh petit pours. Letter B, iced petit pours. Letter C, marzipan. And letter D, petit pours. Second, it refers to a petit pour decorated covered with fondant icing. Letter A, fresh petit pois. Letter B, iced petit pois. Letter C, marzipan. And letter D, petit pois. I'll repeat. It refers to a petit pois decorated or covered with fondant icing. Letter A, fresh petit pois. Letter B, iced petit pois. Letter C, marzipan. And letter D, petit pois. It is a tiny fresh fruit tartlet. Letter A, fresh petit pois. Letter B, iced petit pois. Letter C, marzipan. And letter D, petit pois. It is a tiny fresh fruit tartlet. Fresh petit pois. Letter B, iced petit pois. Letter C, marzipan. Letter D, petit pois. Number 4, which is a paste or confections, icing or filling made of meringue and gelatin. Letter A, fresh petit pois. Letter B, iced petit pois. Letter C, marzipan. And letter D, petit pois. I'll repeat, which is a paste or confection used icing or filling made of meringue and gelatin. Letter A, fresh petit pois. Letter B, iced petit pois. Letter C, marzipan. Letter D, petit pois. Okay, last, number 5, it refers to ensuring that the right quantity of food is prepared and served to customers. Letter A, markup. Letter B, portion control. Letter C, standard size. And letter D, yield. It refers to ensuring that the right quantity of food is prepared and served to customers. Letter A, markup. Letter B, portion control. Letter C, standard size. Letter D, yield. Okay, congrats. Next, top. Okay, so this is the lesson information. So, Petit pours refers to, in a definition of petit pours, so it is a small bite-sized confectionery or savory appetizer. It is a small biscuit and cakes tastefully decorated, and it is a sweet meat and cake designed to be served as dessert with after dinners or cocktails. So, yan yung definition ng petit pours. So, yun, sabi nga niya, bite size daw yung petit pours and savory. Small size like a biscuit, and it is a design. It is decorated with different ingredients, yon, and it's served as dessert or dinner daw or cocktails, yon. So petit pours should be small. So they are often made into different shapes. They are delicate crisp, fresh, attractive, light, and designed to be swallowed in just one or two mouthfuls. Yun. So, one or two mouthfuls lang or dalawa o isang o dalawang subo lang. So, it is prepared from a variety of ingredients. So, they are usually small pieces that have been baked, while the emphasis is on small or non-baked confectionery items like caramelized and glazed fruit. So marzipan, shapes, or other small sweet delicacies are also served as a petit pours. Yun. Next, yun. So yan yung petit pours, iced petit pours. So iced petit pours are small bite-sized cakes and a thin coating of glaze. So, yung nakikita nyo sa taas, yan yung example of iced petit pours. Okay? So, assembled in large sheets and cut after sitting up, petit pours glaze contains thin layer of cake alternating with jam and or buttercream. The top of the cakes is adorned with thin layer of marzipan to add flavor. So yung marzipan is made from almond paste or a cooked sugar syrup and sometimes glucose or egg white. Yon. Kung makita nyo yung parating ginagamit na sa pastry is yung sugar syrup or yung egg white. Kasi yung glucose syrup is mahal. Okay? So after the cake is cut, it can be on rub in a fondant or sometimes dipped in a chocolate. And petit pours glaze are typically finished with intricate stylized piping. Yan, yung nakita nyo sa left side ng picture. Yung pinapipe na lang yung design papunta doon sa cupcake. Okay. We have the types or kind of petit pours bases. So, the basis for petit pour can be marzipan and sponge o yung sponge cake. So, a petit pour base must be strong enough to hold the petit pours. Cake can be baked in a shallow trays, the top with soft topping, then cut shape desired similar to sponge sheets. So lesson information, be strong enough to hold the petit pours. Okay. So shortbread, mixture of flour and pot sugar, enriched with egg and short eating quality. Yeah. So pastry puff pastry can make a suitable base for petit pours when a sweet filling is used. Sponge baked in thin sheets and layered together with filling which act as a adhesive to hold the sheets of sponge together. Okay. In-attest the training, yon. Sa NC2 ng bread and pastry, mayroon tayong petit pours na kasama doon. Okay? So, ang ginagawa sa TESDA, ah, inahati na lang yung trim ng cake or yung jelly roll pan na cake. Tinitrim na lang doon and make it square bite size. Then, pinapatungan na lang para maging double the size ng petit pours. Siyempre, para hindi siya mahulog, siyempre lalagyan siya ng filling para kumapit or para makapatong yung dalawang sheets ng sponge cake. Okay? Okay, ni-prepare fondant icing naman. So, following required temperature and standard procedure. So, yung fondant icing is made from the sugar, water, and cream of tartar or liquid glucose, which are boiled together until the syrup reaches what is called soft ball stage. Okay. When a spoonful of the sugar syrup is dropped into a bowl of cold water and forms a soft ball when rolled between the fingers. Okay, yung paggawa ng fondant icing, syempre, base niya is sugar and water. So, syempre, linuluto muna siya para maging uh, ball. Okay? So, lulutuin muna yung sugar with add ng little bit of water and cream of tartar or liquid glucose. And when maging syrup na siya, then doon na magiging stage na ng magiging matigas na yung sugar, then syrup. Then i-add na lang yung a little bit of cornstarch. Okay. So the mixture is kneaded into smooth dough and coloring or flavor such as peppermint, lemon, or coffee can be added. Fondant icing can be rolled into shape to make sweets or used warm and poured into mold, then coated in melted chocolate. It's often used as a icing or coating for small foods and is used to ice or decorate cakes. Okay. So, yung fondant, minimid muna siya. Okay? Kasi hindi naman siya water-based talaga siya, okay? Kasi yung sugar and water niyan is magbubuo-buo, then para maging fondant siya, linalagyan siya ng coloring, yun na yun. Then syempre, para mas mabango, meron siyang scent or peppermint, lemon, or coffee, okay? Okay, so how to make fondant icing? Yun nga, yung two types of fondant icing. Fondant can refer to one or two types of sugar-based paste used in preparing and decorating cakes, pastries, and confections. So poured fondant and can be used for making candies and as in icing. Rolled fondant produce sheets that can be used for cake decorating and giving a smooth look. Yan yung sample ng poured fondant icing. Okay, yung poured fondant or fondant icing is a sweet creamy paste that can be used as filling or icing for pastries such as eclairs and napoleons. Poured fondant can be made from simply combining sugar, sweetening, and water. Yan. Yan yung example na nakalagay sa picture. Okay, so yung rolled fondant, so is almost like a very sweet dough. So like poured fondant or rolled fondant is made from powdered sugar, corn syrup, and water. However, to make rolled fondant, you must also add glycerin, shortening, and some sort of gelatin. So yung glycerin is like yung pampakapit, okay? Yung lasa niya is like toothpaste, yan. So mint siya, then uh, parang syrup siya na mented, okay? Okay, once you feel comfortable with the basics of fondant making, there are a number of ways you can take your fondant work to the next level and get more creative with your baked goods. Some ideas include, yan yung sample. So, syempre, coloring. Okay? Yung coloring your fondant. So, it's best to use especially gel colors to color your fondant. Gel colors can be found in craft and baking stores. Regularly, food coloring will make your fondant very sticky and difficult to work with. Yan. So, very sticky and difficult to work with. Why? So, syempre, example, kung gamit ka ng gel colors, syempre, dapat pa konti-konti lang. Why? Kasi kung marami yan, uh, mas lalong kukulay yan and magiging watery. Okay? So, syempre, a little bit adding of colors in the fondant to make it smooth surface. Next. Okay. So, make a fondant petals. So, yung fondant petals look like real flowers petals and can be a beautiful addition to cakes and cupcakes. You can also make fondants snowflakes or for holiday decor. So, yan yung example ng fondant petals. So, yung parang bulaklak. Yan. So, pag pinagsama-sama mo siya, pinatong-patong mo siya, magiging rose na yan. Okay, so use luster dust on your finished fondant to bring glamour and sophistication to homemade dessert. So, luster dust, a shiny decorating powder, adds a sparkle and shine to your dessert. Yan. So, yung luster dust, nabibili yan sa mga baking store. So, hindi siya danger. So, pwede siyang kainin, okay? So, syempre, design lang yan. Pero pag marami yan, parang pangit na sa as decoration sa fondant natin. or sa dessert. So dapat a little bit lang. Okay, so how to decorate petit purse? So syempre, first is line and dot pattern. So yan yung sample na sa pictures. Okay, so simple dots and or lines of color that contrast with the icing can look very attractive and are easy to do. So use plain or tinted buttercream or melted and slightly cooled white, semi-sweet or dark chocolate or candy milk. So yan yung uh, line or dot patterns na nakita nyo. So ang paggawa niyan, ginagamitan ng piping bag. Okay, so this is an example of fresh fruits. So a simple, attractive approach is to top each petit purse with a dollop or rosette of simply whipped heavy cream or buttercream rosette, and one or the two small fresh berries or grapes or small mandarin orange segment. Okay. So yung nakita nyo sa video presentation, yan yung example ng buttercream. Okay? Yung tinatapping sa lang yung buttercream or uh, di, buttercream and linalagyan na ng design. So syempre, bago mo lagyan ng design, must be refrigerated para mas matigas yung buttercream. Kasi pag yun nga, kung ah, bagong lagay pa lang na buttercream, mangyayari, pag nilagay mo yung fruits, mag-slide down siya. Okay? So, making I'm using parchment paper decorating cones. Ayan. Yan, yun na yung tinatawag nating piping bag. So, parchment paper cones or aka cornets are quick and easy to make when piping lines or dots of icing or melted chocolate. They give you much better control than icing bags with tips or square bottles, and they are much easier to clean. So nakikita nyo dun sa first picture, yan yung example kung paano paggawa ng paper cones. Then next, ito yung paggawa ng design. Next. Okay, yung tip. So, when piping lines, circles, always start by holding the tip o yung dulo ng piping and of the cone, so it almost touches the surface of what you're decorating and vertice squeeze out of tiny amount to anchor the icing. So, syempre, pag binigla mo yung i-press down yung tip ng icing, may tendency na puputok siya sa dulo. So, dapat dahan-dahan lang. Okay? Okay, next. Okay, luster dust. Okay, so metallic or pearl edible luster dust looks gorgeous as when lightly dust over the top of a dry icing. So this powder has a rich metallic color that doesn't look as bright and brassy as some others eligible gold dust. So medyo light lang yan. So ito yun, silver or gold ridges. So silver ridges are tiny, hard candy balls with a shiny silver coating. You can usually find them in the aisle of the grocery store. Just one silver draggy to make one small buttercream rosette is an elegant decoration, or make a small buttercream rosette in the center and smaller rosette at each corner of the petit purse and center a shiny silver ball on the top of each seat. So, sa example ng ah, design na yan, nasa picture is meron tayong silver, gold, and pink. So, this is the sugar pearls. So, syempre, pearls is like sabihin natin perlas, okay? So, edible sugar pearls are similar to dredges but have a pearl scent finish instead of the metallic one. So they come in different size. So look for small sugar pearls that are in a proportion to the size of cakes and the rest of the decoration. So you can find them at Amazon store or syempre sa mga supplies ng baking products. So sabi nga dito sa paggamit ng petit pour, syempre gagamit tayo ng sugar pearls na fit lang dun sa ating petit pour. So, syempre, dito sa karamihan kasi ng sugar pearls, meron different sizes yan. Small to large or XL pa nga. So, yan yung edible gold leaf. So, it is a gorgeous decoration. So, it is a bit pricey. So, mahal. So a little goes a very long way since you need to only a few tiny pieces or one slightly larger piece to decorate each mini cake. So only buy gold leaf that is certified safe to eat. So syempre karamihan ng mga product ngayon is more on standard. So dapat yung gagamitin nating edible gold leaf is yung safe, okay? Kasi may nagdadaya ng ganyan. Okay? So, sa paggamit niyan, dahan-dahan lang. Why? Kasi nangyayari, mabilis siyang maputol or mapunit. Kaya ang karamihan ginagamit is ginagamitan pa ng panipit dyan. So, ayun yung example of proportional embellishment. So, if you really want to impress your guest, try embedding a piece of melted chocolate or sugar glass lace into each cake at a rakish angle. Okay, yan yung example. So, sugar glass lace. Okay, yung chocolate lace is Bolrona, Colbot or Gotland Premium Converter chocolate which has a higher proportion of cocoa butter compared to ordinary chocolate that makes it flow more easily from the piping bag, remain more flexible after sitting. So, ang paggawa ng chocolate lace is likewise katulad din ng sugar lace. Okay? So, uh, melted chocolate, then linalagay sa paper, then linalagay naman sa rep, pinapatigas para maging design ng ganyan. Okay, so yung sugar glaze is a white chocolate lace shards are pretty easy to make and I recommended attempting sugar glass only if you are an experienced bakery or candy maker. So paggawa ng sugar glass lace is hindi madali kasi medyo delikado din kasi pag napasok ka masakit. Okay? Then uh, professional pastry chef use powdered gold is malted to create crystal clear sugar glass. So glass made from regular granulated white sugar will caramelize as the syrup cook, causing it turns a pale amber color but it still make a beautiful decoration. So ginagawa mo ng syrup yung sugar, then pag medyo nakita nyo pag kumukulo na siya, then wala nang sugar sugar na nakikita nyo, parang watery na siya. So doon yun na mag-create ng sugar glaze. So use pork to create your sugar glaze. Okay. So, na-discuss na natin yung mga different ingredients, paano paggawa ng fondant, yung mga design. So, reflect and understand. So, self-check or 4.14. So, direction. Read the statement carefully and write the correct word. Describe each statement and write your answer in your test notebook. Okay. First question. So, number one, contrast with the icing can look very attractive and are easy to do. Number two, a simple attractive approach is to top each petit pour with a dollop or rosette of stiffly wiped heavy cream or buttercream and one or two small fresh berries. Number three, parchment paper cones aka blank are quick and easy to make. And number four, this powder has a rich metallic color that doesn't look as bright and brassy as same other edible gold dust. Number five, is a gorgeous decoration is a bit pricey. Number six, are tiny hard candy balls with a shiny silver coating. Number seven, are similar to the Dwiggies but have percent finish instead of one metallic one. Number 8. Graze the side of large rimmed baking sheets very lightly with a coconut oil or sweet almond oil. Number 9. Which has a higher proportion of cocoa butter compared to ordinary chocolate. Number 10. Commonly known as glass dust. So, yan yung self-check na answeran nyo and write your answer in your test notebook and pass to me in our next distribution of modules. Next. Okay, so procedure in preparing petit fours. So, ito na yung activity na gagawin nyo sa bahay nyo. Okay, so this is the last activity na gagawin nyo. So, activity 4.1-1. So, enhance your skills in assembling and cutting iced petit pours based upon performing this activity. Assembling and cutting iced petit pour base and things needed. So, yun yung mga things needed na kailangan natin. So, first, sponge sheets. So, yung size niya is 56 mm or 56 mm thick or 3 cm total weight when assembled. So, ano ba yung mga sponge sheets? So, syempre, ito yung sponge or sponge cake na gagamitin nyo. So, alam nyo ba yung inipit? Yan. Kung may inipit pa dito na bibili, yun na lang ang yun na lang yung gamitin nyo. Kung wala, bili na lang kayo ng lemon square, then cut into bite size or bite size na kasi yung lemon square is ganito kalaki. Okay? So, cut nyo na lang into square. Then, yung gagamitin yung toppings or yung liquid na gamitin nyo para sa coating is yung jam or mga jam strawberry, mango, different mga jam. Or kung meron naman kayo sa bahay nyo ng whipping cream, yun ang gamitin nyo. Or gawa na lang kayo ng icing, pwede naman yan. So, dapat smooth texture. Okay? So, second, 2 sheets of wax paper. Okay, syempre, ilalagay nyo yung ginawa nyong activity sa wax paper. Siyempre, yung magkakasya din sa bite size ng PT4. Kung may nabibili naman dito sa Donsol na ah, paper cup or yung cupcake molder, pwede naman yun. Okay? Okay, ito yung 9 procedures na gagawin nyo. So, syempre, lay the first sponge cake on a wax paper. Number 2, spread a thin layer of jam over the cake. Third, place a second sheet cake on the top of the first layer. So, syempre, papatungan nyo. Kasi ito yung first layer. Ito yung spread or palaman. Then, another layer of cakes para maging 2 inches. And place as number 4, press firmly. So, syempre, i-press nyo konti. Okay? And remove lost crumbs. So, yung crumb, yung parang buo-buo sa gilid. Okay? Kasi pag nilagyan nyo na ng topping or yung icing, buo-buo pa rin yung sa gilid. Para mas maganda, tanggalin nyo yung lost crumb. Gamitin nyo ng pastry brush or kahit yung tinidor na lang. Number 6, spread a second layer jam thinly over the cake. And 7, take a third sheet of cake, turn it over to pot of the bottom part on the top. Number 8, press sheets of sponge firmly together. And last, place tray on the top to allow layered cake and jam to bond. Yan. Okay, so cut bases to the desired shape. So any form and shape can be applied, but accuracy of cutting is vital. It should minimize waste. Example, kung gagamitan nyo ng lemon square na cake, syempre may trimmings yun. Ba? So dapat sakto yung pagkakat nyo talaga doon para maiwasan natin yung waste. Second, shape can be round, diagonal, square, or triangle. So, mas maganda pa rin yung square na lang. Third, almost 20% of the product is waste if round and diagonal shape is used. So, yun nga. So, kung diagonal, maraming waste, kaya gamitin nyo talaga is yung square na lang para makatipid tayo sa trimmings. Okay, note. Documents all the activity from the preparation until it finished. So send your picture or video. Submit it to me in the next distribution of modules. So yan yung last activity na gagawin nyo in this school year. Okay, balik tayo sa objectives. So ano ba, yung objectives ba natin na na-meet natin? So syempre, yes. So prepare, cut, and assemble sponge and bases according to standard recipe and enterprises required and practices. Second, na prepare natin yung filling with the required flavors and consistency. Third, alam nyo na kung paano gumawa ng fondant. So, fondant icing following required flavors and consistency. And last, design and use decoration in accordance with establishment standard and procedures. Okay, so thank you. So hanggang dito na muli. So please submit na lang yung activity ninyo, picture and video sa akin. Then yung activity sheets na answers, isubmit na lang ninyo sa pagbalik ng o pag-distribute ng mga modules. So, thank you and God bless.